Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Let me ask you something. Have you ever looked at a woman and thought, I can't tell if she's attracted to me or just being friendly? You overanalyze her messages, replay your interactions, and still something inside you feels both excited and unsettled. What if I told you there's one quiet behavior that reveals everything? That when she does this, she's already emotionally connected to you. Before we go further, make sure to like this video and subscribe. It helps me reach more men who are tired of guessing and ready to truly understand. Now, pay close attention, because women rarely express what they genuinely feel at first. They show it. And those signals aren't dramatic or obvious. They're subtle, instinctive, and deeply rooted in psychology. When a woman is truly drawn to you, her defenses shift. You'll notice it not in what she says, but in how her energy transforms around you. It's as if her emotional walls, built through years of experiences and heartbreak, begin to lower just slightly. She starts revealing her real self piece by piece, often without even realizing it. The biggest mistake most men make, they look for words instead of patterns. A woman's attraction isn't announced, it seeps out through micro behaviors. She begins to mirror your tone, match your energy, echo your expressions. It's unconscious mimicry, a neurological indicator of genuine connection. When she does this, she's no longer playing a character, she's aligning herself with you. Her nervous system feels calm around you. Think about what that means. Safety for a woman isn't about physical protection, it's about emotional resonance. If she laughs more openly, holds soft but lingering eye contact, or begins initiating small personal revelations, she's already attached, not physically, but emotionally. Her guard is dropping, and that's the moment most men either miss or destroy, because they either rush forward with approval seeking behavior or they doubt it and withdraw. But the reality is, when she begins to emotionally align with you, she's already made an internal decision. She might not admit it, she might even resist it, but somewhere deep inside, she's thinking, this man feels different. So the question isn't whether she's interested, it's whether you can recognize the signals before you push them away. And once you learn to do that, everything about how you connect with women shifts permanently. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most men destroy attraction not because women lose interest, but because they fail to understand how delicate that emotional spark truly is. When she begins feeling something for you, she doesn't want to. She's afraid of it. Attraction for women isn't a decision, it's an emotional surrender. And surrender only happens when she perceives strength, stability, and a hint of mystery, all working together. When she does that thing, leans in slightly closer than needed, lingers when the conversation should have wrapped up, or gives you that glance that lasts just a moment too long, she's reading your energy. She's not asking, do you like me? She's silently wondering, are you grounded enough for me to lower my walls? Because women don't fall for men they fully understand. They fall for men they deeply feel. This is where most men go wrong. You start explaining yourself, oversharing, trying to prove you're worthy. But to her nervous system, that registers as emotional weakness. You're trying to earn what was already being freely offered. Attraction disappears the moment she senses that you need her validation. What she truly desires is to feel safe within your stillness, to witness your composure when her emotions begin to rise. When a woman's feelings deepen, she becomes emotionally open in understated ways. She'll start finding reasons to be around you, asking small, unnecessary questions, or lightly challenging your perspective. It's not accidental, it's her subconscious extending an invitation for emotional closeness. She wants to discover whether you can meet her in the places she keeps hidden. If you respond to that playfulness with calm confidence, not arrogance, not detachment, she feels understood, not judged. And that's when she starts to bond. Because connection isn't forged through intensity, it grows through consistent presence. You don't need to pursue her. You simply need to remain centered while she chooses to move closer. You see, women don't fall for what you say, they fall for how you make them feel when you say nothing at all. That quiet strength, that grounded stillness. It's what her instincts are searching for. She's not drawn to flattery, she's drawn to steadiness. So when she starts offering you her energy, her focus, her softness, her curiosity, don't smother it, don't dissect it. Let it breathe. That's how you keep her engaged. That's how you transform fleeting attraction into something emotionally lasting. Let's be completely honest for a moment. You cannot force a woman to love you. You can only become the kind of man her emotions feel safe choosing. That's the truth nobody talks about. Because genuine attraction isn't built through strategy or manipulation, it's built through emotional gravity. And that gravity emerges when you stop trying to impress her and start embodying steady masculine certainty. When she's drawn to you, she doesn't need elaborate gestures. She simply wants to feel your grounded presence. That means your voice, your eye contact, your silence, they all carry a message deeper than any words could express. If she's giving you her attention, she's evaluating. Can this man hold space for my emotions without losing his own? If the answer is yes, her attraction grows stronger. If the answer is no, if she senses your energy shifting based on her reactions, her instincts quietly retreat. You see, women subconsciously test for strength, not physical, but emotional steadiness. They'll send small challenges your way, not to wound you, but to verify you're not easily broken. She might tease you, question your intentions, or pull back slightly after opening up. Most men react by chasing harder, but that's precisely when you should do the opposite. Breathe, stay centered, and allow her to return, because she will. If she understands that your self worth doesn't depend on her approval, when she genuinely feels that, something deep within her changes. You stop being just another option and you become the emotional foundation she never knew she was searching for. She starts opening up more honestly, her stories grow more intimate, her voice softens, and she begins to reflect your steadiness. That's not coincidence. That's emotional bonding in motion. She's communicating without words. I trust you with who I really am. And here's what matters most. When she begins trusting you emotionally, attraction transforms into attachment. That's when you stop being a possibility and start becoming a presence she carries in her mind. Even when you're not there, she'll think about you. Not because of what you did, but because of how she felt when you were steady, sure, and genuine. That's the truth most men never discover. You don't win a woman's heart by chasing her energy. You win it by mastering your own. Here's where it goes deeper. Because when she's already drawn to you, her behavior becomes contradictory. She might grow distant, pull away, or suddenly become unpredictable. And this unsettles most men. They assume she's fading, but in reality, she's guarding herself. You've stirred something emotional inside her that she didn't anticipate, and her mind begins wrestling with her heart. Attraction awakens her vulnerability, and vulnerability frightens most women who've experienced pain before. This is where your response determines everything. If you begin chasing, messaging more, asking what happened, over explaining yourself, you confirm her deepest fear that your calmness was never real. But if you remain grounded, warm, and unshaken, something remarkable unfolds. She begins easing back into your energy. Because a woman's deepest need isn't to be pursued, it's to trust the man who doesn't abandon his center when she pushes against it. Understand this. When she's emotionally attached, she'll sometimes create small waves just to confirm you won't disappear when things get difficult. Not deliberately, but instinctively. She wants to feel that you can hold space for both her tenderness and her turmoil. The men who fail this moment are the ones who take her emotions personally. They become defensive, cold, or desperate. But the man who succeeds, he listens, he breathes, he responds rather than reacts. That's when her feminine instinct fully opens. She starts treating your presence like a safe place. She'll lean on you emotionally without even recognizing it, sharing things she's never spoken aloud, seeking your perspective, finding comfort in your silence. She stops pretending around you. That's when you know she's genuinely invested. But don't confuse her openness with permission to grow complacent. The masculine presence she's drawn toward is a living, active energy. It must be nurtured. You nurture it by staying intentional, by keeping your focus on growth, not just her closeness. Because the moment your identity becomes wrapped around her approval, the polarity fades. You want her respect, not just her warmth. And respect is built when you embody consistency through her inconsistency. That's what creates devotion. So if she's acting unpredictably, don't spiral. It's not rejection, it's emotional calibration. She's measuring whether your strength is genuine. Stay calm, stay rooted, and she'll draw closer every single time. Now, let's discuss the part nobody prepares you for. What happens once she's truly emotionally connected to you? Because when she's genuinely into you, something significant occurs within her psychology. She begins reflecting not just your actions, but your emotional rhythm. If you're grounded, she experiences peace. If you're scattered, she feels unstable. That's how powerful your presence becomes. Once her walls come down, when a woman has chosen you emotionally, she begins to give without being prompted. She'll start remembering quiet details about your world, creating space for you within her routines, and naturally aligning her energy with yours. You won't have to ask for effort, she'll offer it freely. But here's where the difficulty arrives, because the deeper she feels, the more she fears losing that feeling. That's when she grows sensitive to your distance, your tone, your silence. Most men misread that sensitivity as neediness, but it isn't. It's emotional attunement. When a woman genuinely cares, she feels you even without words. So if your energy changes, she'll notice. If your attention drifts, she'll sense it. That's why your steady confidence matters more now than ever. Because when she's emotionally invested, she needs consistency, not flawlessness. She needs to feel that your strength isn't circumstantial. This is the stage where everything either deepens or dissolves. If you stay present, communicate with honesty, and lead with emotional composure, she'll attach even more completely. She'll begin to trust your direction, not in a controlling sense, but in a grounded, masculine way that allows her to finally relax. She'll express her affection more openly, and the bond will feel natural. But if you begin taking her investment for granted or allow insecurity to surface, she'll quietly pull back because her instinct senses that something has shifted. Women don't leave when they stop loving you. They leave when they stop feeling safe loving you. That's why your inner stillness is your greatest form of attraction. So if she's showing up with effort, if she's softening in your presence, if her voice changes when she speaks to you, recognize exactly what that is. That's not simply liking you, that's emotional surrender. You've already reached her heart. Your only remaining role is to protect the version of yourself that drew her there. Here's the truth that separates men who sustain a woman's devotion from those who only briefly experience it. Real attraction isn't about capturing her attention, it's about holding her respect. Once she's emotionally invested, her instincts continuously scan for one thing: is this man who he truly seemed to be? And if your words, energy, and actions remain aligned, she feels safe continuing to love you. But if your consistency breaks, her heart quietly begins rebuilding its walls. When a woman does that, when she emotionally offers herself to you, it's not a small act. It means she's decided, consciously or not, to allow you into her emotional world. She'll begin reflecting your energy, relying on your steadiness, and anchoring her peace to your presence. That's the weight of trust now resting in your hands. So ask yourself honestly, what kind of man are you teaching her nervous system to associate with love? Calm or chaos? Certainty or confusion? Because here's what most men never grasp. Once you've earned her emotional trust, you become the inner environment she inhabits. Your presence lives within her even after you're gone. That's why emotional discipline is everything. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be unwavering. You need to remain rooted in purpose, passion, and principle. That's what keeps her drawn back to your energy. And yes, she'll still challenge you, not because she questions you, but because she needs reassurance that your strength was never a performance. Every woman, knowingly or not, checks whether the man she's chosen is still safe to surrender to. When you meet those moments with calm leadership rather than ego, she falls even further because she witnesses something uncommon, a man who doesn't merely demand respect, but lives it. So if she's revealing that quiet vulnerability around you, if her tone warms when you speak, if she allows her emotions to surface without holding back, that's everything. You already have her. But what determines whether you keep her isn't charisma or control, it's emotional integrity. It's proving that your strength is not a performance, it's simply who you are. Remember this: women don't stay for excitement, they stay for peace that feels like coming home. Be that peace. Protect it, deepen it. Because when a man truly masters his calm, he becomes impossible to forget.